Here we have the current stock market update for Supermicro Computer Incorporated, stock ticker SMCI. Before we begin with today's chart analysis, if you find these educational materials to be helpful in your trading, please remember to click the like and subscribe buttons and leave your thoughts below in the comments section so that other traders can find this information more easily on the platform. So as we can see here, share prices have really started to make some very strong moves higher to start the week. What we're looking at here is the 15-minute price chart, and that's largely because we're still trying to identify whether or not this recent trading range here does mark a bottom for the stock. And the best way to do that is to look at the shorter term time frames. These time frames tend to give us much more detail, for example, than if we were to look at the daily chart or the weekly chart. A lot of this information would be contained in a single candle. So for this reason, we will be looking at the 15-minute price chart for the moment. And there are some very important price patterns that are starting to develop here that I think bullish investors might be happy to hear about. So in this video, we will be looking at some specific price zones and identifying some key support and resistance levels so that hopefully traders can identify profitable trading strategies for this very volatile stock going forward. So near term, what we're looking at here is really a double top region that started to form right around $48.50 or so. That would be roughly this area here. So as we can see, this area was tested on two separate occasions. And the last time this area was tested, we saw significant price movements in the downward direction. This is ultimately what created the support level that is now seen at 37.30. And then from there, we did start to build a series of successive price waves in the bullish direction, where we did see a sequence of really really higher lows and higher highs. There is a bit of a double top, short-term double top that did start to unfold right around $44 per share. That'd be these two price levels here. And as we can see, there is sort of a double top formation that is forming here. But today we have seen a very forceful break upward through that double top resistance area, and now we're starting to trade back toward that important resistance zone at 48.50. So currently, the reason that I'm paying most attention to this recent price action here is because what we're starting to see at the moment is a bit of a bull flag formation here. You can almost refer to this as a bull pennant, because what we're really seeing here is a tremendous surge higher in the upward direction, and then a bit of a sideways consolidation period that sort of suggests a bit of stalling at those highs. So currently, we haven't really seen much further extension here to the downside. So that is encouraging. And the only question at this point would sort of be how exactly you define the price pattern. I mean, would we really define this as more of a bull flag or more of a bull pennant? They do mostly have the same price projections. At the moment, I would be inclined to call this a bit more of a bull pennant because we're really not seeing much of a downward drift. Usually what you'll see with a bull flag pattern is more of a downside price movement, whereas with a bull pennant pattern, what you tend to see is a bit more of a symmetrical triangle type of pattern that develops at these upper regions here. So at the moment, I would be inclined to call this more of a bull pennant. You can say it's not really significant either way because the price projections here do tend to be quite forceful for both patterns. Typically, what you'll see once these price patterns form is a very significant price movement to the top side. Now, we're not exactly there yet because we do need to see a break here to the top side, and this is also showing some resistance right near a major resistance level. So really what we do need to see at this point is for a break to the top side here. We really do need to see share prices move higher into this area before we can start to expect to see share prices reach their projection for the bull pennant pattern. We saw one of these recently with Intel, actually. I would suggest people take a look at some of the prior videos on Intel because we did see a bull pennant pattern form in that stock recently, and that stock really met its projection. It might have been a little short of that ultimate projection, but we did see significant price movement to the top side after that price pattern actually broke out. So, we haven't seen that yet for this pattern, and it's still completely possible that we do see a failure here. and that share prices start to move lower out of this resistance zone. Totally possible. And if that does happen, this bull pennant pattern is not triggered. You wouldn't expect to see the upside follow through. However, if we do see a break of this resistance area, roughly 40, it's a bit above 48.50. So maybe let's call it like 48.80 or so. If we do see a break above that region, you could then expect to see a much more forceful move to the top side, because the ultimate projection for these patterns is equal to the original length of the flag pole, or the pennant pole, I guess you might say in this case. So this would be a very forceful price movement to the top side, as you can see here. I mean, these are tremendously bullish patterns when they do actually play out. Now, it doesn't guarantee that it's going to play out, but these are highly bullish formations. We saw one a lot over the last few months with Nvidia, and that's actually what resulted in that ultimate all-time high price at 140 in Nvidia. If anybody covers that stock, so these patterns do occur, and they do quite often reach their targets. So if this were to occur here, what we would really be looking at is roughly, and this is just a rough approximation here, but what we could be looking at with a breakout here to the top side could be something around 57.50. So that would be a very substantial price movement to the top side if we do see this ultimately break out. Now, as I said, there are some issues here. One, you have not yet broken really above that pattern. You're starting to at the moment. Actually, this recent candle here is starting to show some evidence of a break here, but we're still showing a red candle at the moment. But overall, we do need to see the bull pennant pattern break, and then you also have this resistance area coming in at $48.50 roughly. So we do need to see all of those areas break. I mean, all of these have to break to the top side before we can even start to believe that this pattern formation price projection is going to unfold. But if we look at the indicator reading here, we can see that there is still bullish momentum that's underlying this stock. And it would take a lot of price movement here to the downside in order to break that trend. So as you can see here, there's a lot of distance here that the relative strength index would need to cover in order to break that upward momentum. So currently, these are bullish price moves. We're not out of the woods yet. We do need to see a bit more follow through here. But overall, this is shaping up for what could be a very forceful break to the top side if a few elements are met, if a few conditions are met. So here's the current stock market update for Super Micro Computer Incorporated, stock ticker SMCI. Our high value trading strategies membership is currently available for a limited time for only $9.99 per month. These high conviction investment strategies are characterized by superior risk to reward metrics that target massive market beating returns over time. Join now to outperform the market. Lock in this special introductory rate of just $9.99 per month for the entire lifetime of your membership, and start trading stocks with the pros.